Alright folks, there's no denying it. The Toronto Blue Jays have a big decision to make. At the time of recording this video, the Toronto Blue Jays have a record of 21-16, which is pretty good to start the year. But even though they're 5 games above 500, they are still in 4th place in the division and 7.5 games back from the Rays. In a division this competitive, it's not an overreaction to say that every single game matters. You need to be fielding the best possible roster, coming up with a solid game plan, and creating the best possible lineup that you can every single game, which is coincidentally what we're going to be looking at in this video. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be discussing the Toronto Blue Jays lineup decisions and how they've been impacting their play so far. Before we do, I encourage you guys to comment down below your ideal Toronto Blue Jays lineup. I'm very curious to hear what you guys come up with. Alright guys, let's get into the video. So the main thing that we need to talk about here is George Springer. George Springer is in his 3rd year with the Toronto Blue Jays and so far hasn't been having the season that everybody hoped for. At the time of recording this video, George Springer has a .209 batting average with an OPS plus of 61 through 139 at-bats. That has his WAR sitting at -0.4. Not great. Now, as many Blue Jays fans will tell you, myself included, it's still very early. We've seen time and time again, players get off to slow starts and then June rolls around and they just explode. And George Springer has that capability. I would not be surprised in the slightest if we finished off this year and George Springer's batting 300 with an 800 OPS. But for now anyways, for whatever reason, that hasn't been happening. So that leads to the question, what do the Blue Jays do about it?
Whoa! Time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Bleacher Report recently released an article where they were looking at MLB lineup changes that, in their words, need to happen. They say that the notion that George Springer shouldn't be batting leadoff is borderline sacrilegious. That's where he started 817 of the 888 games he's played in his career. They go on to write that his .275 on-base percentage out of the leadoff spot is the lowest for any hitter who's taken at least 140 plate appearances up there. And while a recent illness does offer a valid excuse, the deterioration of Springer's contact quality is still alarming. At 86.6 miles per hour, his average exit velocity has never been lower. So clearly Springer has not been performing to the level that we all hoped he would this year. But I think the reason that this is such a conversation right now is because of the players behind him, specifically Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette is leading the league in hits again and has an on-base percentage of .369. That's almost 100 points higher than George Springer. Bo is having incredible at-bats and making things very hard on starting pitchers. So, with all that being said, is it time to move George Springer? This is the decision that the Toronto Blue Jays are faced with right now. When is the right time, or is there ever a right time to move George Springer lower in the lineup? In my opinion, I'm very torn on it because at one point, I trust George Springer. I believe in George Springer. I believe that he will come around, but at the same point, Bo Bichette is just so elite at this point, and I trust him too. And piecing together the best possible lineup that will give you an opportunity to win is just so critical right now when we're in this competitive of a division in the AL East. But guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and go Jays go!